been through that. You did very well at the University of Chicago, and you left a Greenberg Scholar. You had a lot of choices again as to where you wanted to practice law and for which firm. What brought you west to California?
Yeah, you know, I swear the one thing that's interesting about whatever this weird path is, and you've already heard it's a weird path, it just gets stranger and more bizarre. So don't, just going to get more over the top. But when I left University of Chicago, as opposed to taking the big lucrative offer, literally at the two law firms that everybody wanted to get offers at. There were two spots available at Sidley and Austin in Chicago. The guy who was head of our law review got one, and this weird oddball me got the other one. And Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher out in Los Angeles, great law firm, you know, lucrative. You grow up, you make millions of dollars, you do all that kind of stuff. I went out instead and formed an improv group. So in Chicago, I was doing an improv group. I was doing part-time law with a small firm that was doing some kind of litigation, and was really pretty happy. I mean, generally, that wasn't such a bad thing. Performing was a kick. I was enjoying it. My brother lived in Los Angeles, got a false positive AIDS test, and so for 2 weeks, for no apparent reason that we should think, but that was the time when everybody started getting tested for HIV, he got a false test reading. So I immediately stopped everything that I was doing, made all these plans to move out to LA. 2 weeks later, we found out it was a false positive, and I just came anyway. So traveled across the country, showed up in LA, and went to Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher. Now, if you don't know these law firms, and by the way, you've been in corporate America, many of you. Corporate America is stodgy as hell. I mean, it's just this, it's still that old thing. Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher is about 300 years behind all of that. So, I mean, they are old. They are, am I right? Oh, and I've said it on camera. I'm dead. This place is institution of institutions. But again, they're made up of people. All right, all these people are there. And so I went and walked it back into town where I'd already said no to their offer, and came into town and I said, hey, you know, I think I'd like to work with you guys. And they said, well, okay, great. They went to the hiring committee and said, we'd be happy to actually re-extend our offer. You can come and you can work with us. I said, yeah, but you know, I don't want to leave in 2 years, because I will, and have you guys pissed off because you spent all the money you spent on associates. Why don't you do an hourly deal? Now, why don't you pay me hourly? Now, everybody who's worked in a big law firm knows that's a good deal. Because basically the way they make money is that they work you a gazillion hours, and they charge you charge the client for all those hours, and they pay you a big salary, but it's nothing. Like when you do the math, it doesn't turn out to be that great. And I said, that would be the way that would be better for you and better for me. And they said, we've never done that with a first year. I said, yeah, but the guys on the hiring committee like me. Go and ask them. Which they did, and said yes. So I showed up at Gibson, Dunn & Crutcher with what turned out to be the most lucrative first-year position in the history of the firm. Having done that, and in 2 years, when they figured out that was what was going on, they came and said, you know, why don't you just become an associate? At that time, I really said, no, I'm going to go off and do my own thing. But again, it's amazing when you ask and you kind of use the relationships you have with people, where that goes. So. Started out, paid off my school loans, did that, and went off and started doing more contract work that became a business. And here I was doing this contract work, had more than I could handle, so I started bringing other people in to sublet, if you would, that work. And I became the Kelly Girls of attorneys. This business was called freelance attorneys. These people would work, and I would get 25% of what they made. It was a great business that supported kind of my writing and acting stuff while I was moving around here in town for a while.
Did you know while you were practicing law and while you were at Gibson Dunn that you wanted to do something more creative, something in entertainment?
Well, I think I knew that the people that I identified with in the legal world weren't very happy. Right? They just weren't very happy with what they were doing, and I knew I didn't want to do that for very long. So it was great to get the training and learn the things that we still use every day. I mean, the amazing amount of collateral I've gotten in this business out of the law degree and the experience that I had not just in law school but out there, pretty phenomenal. But generally, I knew that I wouldn't be doing that for a long time.